What's cracking, guys? JP here again, bringing you another update on my DIY build for this aquarium. In today's video, I will be showing you my DIY temperature controller. Now, ever since Reefkeeper went out of business, now I don't have any other controller that's more affordable in my situation. The Apex seems to be too expensive for me, and for just a temperature controller or a light, I don't really have that much of a money to control or have that fancy stuff. So today I will show you a video on my aquarium temperature controller that I bought from Amazon. This kind of controller, you can just buy it at Amazon or eBay, but they're used for like horticulture or aquaponics or hydroponics or beer brewing, any cooking. These are very reliable, sometimes pretty good controller. So let's get to it. Alrighty, there we go. So I went to Amazon. I got this Bayite 1. Now you can buy like the Inkbird. There's different kind of models. What I have is this one, the BTC201. This is just what Amazon recommended to me, and it's got pretty good reviews. Now, what I like about this, now I'll talk about the Pro. What I like about these are pretty cheap. They're like $33 on Amazon. And the second thing is, what I like about these is I can remove the probe, and if the probe goes bad, I can replace the probe. And like the Inkbird, there's the older models, if that probe goes bad, now you have to buy a whole new system or whole new controller. So that's the bad side. The nice thing about too is it comes with a heater and cooling and the alarm. You just heard unplug that probe, and it's there's a lot of it's pretty easy to control. There's the calibrate reading, cooling, heating, set value, heating, cooling. This is the compressor time delay. That's from the delay timer that I built this video before here. High temperature alarm, low temperature alarm, if you want Fahrenheit or Celsius. So that's pretty nice. Alrighty. So what I did to the probe, I upgraded or modded it. I already calibrated this. It is pretty accurate. And what I did is I have some leftover tubing. I went to Menards, got this 1/4 OD for the polythene. These are just like the ice maker tubing. This is not your regular airline tubing. It's just like the same size. So what I did is I put the probe here all the way. I think this is like about 10 inch, I think. And once I put it in, I have some leftover silicone. This is the silicone one. This is the aquarium safe one, no additives. And this is the GE one. And I basically shove the very tip all the way to the halfway of the probe with silicone, and then put silicone on the other side, because what I will be doing is I'll be sticking this in my tank about 1 or 2 inches in the main display, and right over here beside the float, and have the temperature reading inside the tank instead of my filter, because just in case if my filters goes bad, now it gets, if it stops running, now the probe is inside the filter, it gets, cold, but my aquarium is actually getting hot. That's why the thermostat of your aquarium heater comes in handy, just in case if the probe goes bad, if it's reading too low, and it's always turning on. Now, that's the con, that you have to kind of mod this. Hopefully this will become, pretty beneficial in the future. So that I heard a lot of the reviews that some of these probes have the temperature drift. Now I'm just warning you. So what that means is your probe is in the aquarium, it's reading 78 if you set it at 78. But your water is actually 68. So what happens is the temperature control is reading 78, is your heater is off, and your aquarium is cool, and you know, starts, your corals, your fish start getting lethargic and die over time if you don't catch it in time. This is what I was trying to prevent, to have hopefully no temperature drift. And what's nice about this is I can set my aquarium temperature at 78. I'll set my heater or my thermostat. This is the Finex thermostat. I can set this to about like maybe 82. It's got a pretty wild calibration because I got this set up at 82 and it's heating the tank at 78. I know it's kind of weird, but I heard that's what they have. Just like the BRS investigate on which aquarium heater were the best, these seems to run low than their true temp. Alrighty, so I will get this set up. I'll put this right there, and I don't know where I mount this thing. I'll probably mount it beside here. And how I calibrated this, I got some ice water, put some real ice cubes in there and water, mix it up, get your temperature, you know, thermometer, and put it there. And once it reads 0, then that's the real temperature, it's 0. The same as this. This is what you do. You put this in the ice water, and if it's 0, then it's 0. If you got a lot of different, you know, if it's higher or lower, then you definitely adjust. So I'll do a little tutorial, a quick tutorial on how to set this up. So once you plug it in, it will turn on. Plug in your probe, then you basically hold the set button. Now SU means set value. That's your temperature of the water, so that's good. That's you can up and down the setting of that. You know, up, down. That's your setting. My setting is 78 right now. Let's click set. HD means heating differential. Now I got it set at 0.2 right now. You can put it at 0.1, 0.3. I think 0.2 is pretty good. So let's set that on. CD is cooling differential. That means your chiller or fan will turn on. I got it at 1.5, so it will turn on at around 79.5. Get that set. Calibration, I got it at 0. It's pretty good. It's pretty accurate for now, so I got it at set. P7 is your delay. You know, if it turns on, it have a delay timer. And the AH is basically alarm. You have to, if you want to go all the way down, you have to hold down. No, I don't think your aquarium will be that hot. If it starts alarming this hot, you're already dead. So I'll set that later for this video purposes. AL is the low temperature. Your tank is already frozen by this temperature. So okay, so there we go. We're all back. So just in case if it does fail, you know, just in case if it does fail and it doesn't have any alarm, I got this, basically this temperature thermometer sticker. I don't know, it's the ATI. I don't know, I don't even know. It's just a very simple one, you know, just your stick on the glass thermometer. I sit right here, and the sticker is just right here. So it's just a quick glance to just, you know, do a more redundancy on the system, and then also have that just in case if I do read this too low or too high, I'll get the reading of my thermometer. Okay, so let's get this hooked up and let's get to the next step.
A few moments later.
Alrighty guys, I finally set up my aquarium controller, temperature controller to be more specific. So let's get to it. Alright, so I mounted my controller right beside here. I have it set at 78 right now. So this will turn on and this will turn on. But this is set at 79. That means this is just a 1 degree higher, but this will be doing the main controlling. In case if this turns, goes bad and the controller doesn't want to turn on, or it turns on forever, this will stop at 79. If this turns off and it doesn't work, I have a backup heater right here. This is just a cheap, local pet store heater. I used to mix this with my salt water, but I have it set at 75, so just in case if it gets too low, then I can feel it. And I have a little sticker here, so I can have a little quick reference, just a quick glance. So I will probably upgrade this to another Phoenix heater right here beside. And in here, there's the probe right there. It just goes above, go like that. And how I mounted this, this is just, I actually broke one of the tube clipping, screwed it in, and it's pretty tight, so it's not going. It just gets, it kind of slides, but that's pretty good. No water inside. Looks pretty good. Now, why I did not put it inside the tank is because my RODI line is also right here. So if this turns on, the water will be a little colder here, and this will be warm. So I don't want it to interfere. And it's easy for me to do maintenance. I don't want it to be in a very corner here because there's no water flow, and it's hard for me to do maintenance. Okay. Well, I hope you like my DIY build here. And happy reef keeping. Adios.